Um, Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about break of structure. In the last video, I talked about market structure, explaining how to identify trends in the market, how to identify the move the market is actually making at that present moment. So today we're going to be talking about break of structure. So you know when the market ends a particular move and is ready to make anyone. So if you are new to the channel, can you subscribe to the channel? It helps me a lot and helps the videos I make to actually get out there, so people who need it can actually see it. Also leave a like on this video, so it can also get out there, so the algorithm can favor the video. Um without saying too much, let's get right into the video itself. Alright, so break of structure. What is break of structure? Like I explained in the previous video, the market moves in different ways, right? Then there comes a point where the market actually ends the trend it is currently going in. For instance, if the market is moving in an uptrend, it gets to a point where most buyers have already started taking profit, so the buying momentum is actually getting weaker. The buying momentum is getting weaker, then the uptrend starts to the buying momentum gets weaker and the uptrend ends, and then the market moves from uptrend to downtrend, where the sellers now take charge of everything that's happening in the market. So how do you know when the market is going to move from uptrend to downtrend? That's basically using what's called break of structure. If you understand break of structure, you can actually know where to place your orders and what type of orders to place. So now let's get right into it. Break of structure, BOS, that is what the short form, the abbreviation. I'm sure you should be seeing a lot, but you might not know what it means. That actually means break of structure. So for instance, let me use a downtrend as an example. For instance, sorry about my scribbling. We are going to go to the live. We are going to go to the live chat to actually see these things firsthand. So you understand better. So break of structure. Once the market is probably moving in a downtrend, was previously moving in a downtrend, and the market breaks structure and starts moving in an uptrend, how do you know it broke the structure? How do you confirm that the market broke structure? Well, for downtrend, we talked about the market creating lower highs and lower lows, right? So if the market breaks the most recent lower high, which is this right here, this is the most recent lower high. If the market breaks that in a downtrend, it signifies a change in trend. It signifies a change in trend from downtrend to uptrend. So if you draw a little trend line right there, and see if market crosses it. If market crosses this line, that's if the candle closes above that most recent lower high. It signifies that the market has ended the downtrend. Because of this, what the market is actually creating now is no longer a lower high, it is now a high, because the high is higher than the previous lower high, so it is now a higher high. I don't know if you understand me. Previously right here it was a lower high, but because the market has broken that lower high, it is now creating a higher high, no longer a lower high, no longer a lower high. And right here we have our lower low. Right here we have our lower low, and if the market breaks the most recent lower high, it tends to retest. And this is where most traders actually place their buy order after the retest. But from my little experience in the market and my little experience with market structure and trading, breakouts and trading using the break of structure, right, I have noticed that once the market breaks out, it tends to retest back to the previous lower high. So what I just do is draw my trend line from here. Okay, let me clear this a little bit. What I do is, once I see the market has actually broken it, visually it is it is obvious. So I just draw my trend line from here to here. I just draw my trend line across. So because of I know what the market is going to do next, it's going to retest, because after every breakout comes a retest. So the market is going to retest, and it is most likely to retest back to the point where we had our previous lower high. It is most likely to retest back to that point. So that point is actually creating a support right there. It's actually going to be in support, a trend support. So the market is most likely to retest back to this point. And when it does retest back to that point, that's where most traders, including me, I set my buy order and my stop loss accordingly, because of I know after that the market does close below. The retest does comes below, right? Below that our previous lower high that was acting as support. It does come below, but that doesn't mean anything, because of you actually wait for confirmations, like candlestick confirmations. It don't just enter aggressively. So anything the market does, we all it is obvious that what it is actually a retest. So it is obvious that it's actually a retest. So we'll just place our buy order at the end of the retest and plan to ride the uptrend to probably our next key level, to the resistance zone. So that's basically how I trade break of structure. I wait for the break of the previous structure and a retest, then I place my order accordingly. For let me quickly explain this. Like I said, the market tends to retest to the previous lower high, which is not acting as a support, tends to retest to that price level and what starts going back up. But if it doesn't, market can also break this, and like I explained before, if the market breaks this, it should continue going up, right? It should continue in a uptrend, creating higher highs and lower lows. But if it doesn't do that, and it comes to break our most recent lower low, right? This is our lower high, this is our lower low, and if it comes to break our most recent lower low, that is simply explaining to us that the downtrend is not over. There was no significant break of structure. What we have here is simply liquidity grab, right? The market needed liquidity to move, so it actually tricked people into thinking it is breaking structure and it is actually buying. Then traders start setting their buy orders, right? Traders start setting their buy orders and stop losses accordingly. So the market triggers their buy orders and then goes down to trigger their stop loss, giving sellers more liquidity to actually sell the market. So if the market breaks the most recent lower low, after breaking the most recent the most recent lower high, it signifies that the market is still in a downtrend. So what you should be expecting here is a retest, of course, a retest and a continuation in trend. So I think I've explained the instance I just gave using the downtrend. Break of structure is simply when the market breaks previous structure. If it breaks the uptrend structure, you should be expecting a downtrend. If it breaks the downtrend structure, you should be expecting an uptrend. Okay, using the downtrend example again, let me do this again so you actually understand what I'm talking about. Previously, the market was forming lower highs and lower lows, right? It's forming lower highs and lower low. Then we have our most recent lower high and our most recent lower low right here. This is our most recent lower high, and this right here is our most recent lower low. So the market broke structure. To identify break of structure is when the market breaks the most recent lower high in a downtrend. Now I was talking about break of structure in a downtrend, right? In a downtrend. So that is when market breaks the most recent lower high in a downtrend. So when the market does that, it tends to stop forming lower highs. So it now starts forming higher highs because of the high it is creating is higher than the previous high. So that is called a higher high. Remember, in the uptrend we have higher highs and higher lows, and the reason I call it higher highs because of this high is higher than this higher high, and this high is higher than this higher So they are higher highs. So the high is higher than each other. So if the market breaks structure in a downtrend, it tends to form a new higher high, right? So what you can do is draw a little trend line right here to understand the break of structure for you to picture it clearly. So if the market does this, it has broken that structure, right? It has broken the structure and created a new high. And when the market breaks structure, in every breakout there's always a retest. Every breakout there's always a correction move. So after that, you should be expecting a breakout. And like I said, with my little experience, I've noticed that after every breakout, the market tends to retest back to the previous price level, turning into a support or to resistance. In this case, it is turning our previous lower high, this lower high price level, it's turning to a support. So the market is most likely to retest back to that zone, then will start creating higher highs and higher lows. And as a breakout trader, a price action trader, I already know that, okay, once the market does this, I'm to place my order here and place my stop loss accordingly, possibly here, and place my stop loss accordingly. So when the market does this, it stops creating higher highs and stops creating lower highs and starts creating higher highs. So now here we have higher highs, we have our higher lows, higher highs. So now the market is no longer in a downtrend, but now in a uptrend. But I also explained that if the market does this, if the market actually breaks out, right, and when it retests, and when it retests, the market might not stop its retest, its correction move. Sorry, the scribbling was rough. Alright, the market might not stop its correction move here, right? It might go ahead to break for to retest further below this level. You don't have to be panic or anything. The market is most likely to continue in the uptrend. But if it doesn't do that, remember, because of the market broke out immediately does not mean place of buy order. You need confirmations. First. So there's no confirmation that the market is in the uptrend, because if the market can also come right here to break this level, and if it does, it is not an uptrend, it is still a downtrend, because we are going to start creating lower highs and lower lows again. So if the market does this, it breaks beyond this previous lower high price level, which was our support, you don't have to panic. You just have to also buy confirmations, and once you get that, you will see that the market is going to start creating highs and lows. They start creating higher highs and lower lows. And if the market doesn't do that, if it breaks our most recent low right here, if it does this, then you should know that is the previous move, that is this breakout, was probably a liquidity grab, so, or manipulation, whatever you want to call it, was probably a liquidity grab. So the market is going to start forming lower highs and lower lows again, so you can ride the downtrend this time, possibly to your next key level or to your support level. And the markets can also come down again to test this level, to test our previous low level. And when the market does this, the market is most likely to move back off, because of now it has formed a double bottom pattern. There'll be another video in the future where I talk about chart patterns, so you understand this better. So the market is most likely to move up, and if the market moves up and breaks this level, then the uptrend is confirmed. And if it doesn't break that level, it is most likely to consolidate, like I talked before, like I explained before in market structure video, where the market moves sideways. So that's break of structure in a downtrend. What about break of structure in an uptrend? It is the same thing. It is simply the same thing, just vice versa. So in this case, the market was probably moving in a downtrend before, creating lower highs and lower lows. Market was probably moving in an uptrend before, creating higher highs and lower lows. Creating higher highs and lower lows. Then this right here is our most recent. Low, right? If the market breaks this point, the point of our most recent higher low, if the market breaks that point, it is said to have broken structure. So if the market breaks our most recent higher low. It's said to have broken structure, and now instead of creating higher lows, we'll be creating lower lows and lower highs because of the lows we'll be creating now is lower than our previous low. So if the market does this, it has broken structure, and like I explained, you should expect a retest. If not, you should expect a retest. As long as market doesn't break the most recent higher high, the market is still moving in a market is going to move in a downtrend. But if the market comes back to break this level, like I explained in the downtrend, I'm not going to really emphasize much so I don't waste too much time on this video. If the market does this, then if the market breaks the structure like this, then we continue inwards in the uptrend. But as long as the market doesn't do that and it's retest and probably it breaks that resistance and it continues, as long as it doesn't break our most recent higher high, the market is in a downtrend. And if it breaks this our most recent low, which is now our lower low, it is a confirmation that the market has moved from uptrend to downtrend. So you can now find positions and trade the downtrend. So that's break of structure when the market changes from one direction to the other. So it actually helps you know what type of order to place, when to enter, and the likes. And for consolidating markets also have break of structure. This is simple. When the market breaks the most recent low right here, it has broken structure to the downside and it's possible to start forming a downtrend. But if the market broke our most recent high, if it breaks our most recent high, sets our broken structure, right, and what you're expecting is a retest and a move up, creating higher highs and higher lows, making the market a uptrend or whatever. So that's break of structure. So now let's move to our chart to actually see these things live. Okay, right now I'm in my MetaTrader, and this was a trade I took recently, right? And as you can see, this was a 700 sorry about that. Okay, and as you can see, this was a 700 pip movement, or about 70 pips. But what I'm trying to show is that, okay, you can see right here, it was a buy order, right? So how do I know I was supposed to buy? So let's come back to our GBP. As you can see, GBP USD, right? So these are GBP USD. As you can see right here, GBP USD, and we are in our daily time frame right now. So what I do is top-down analysis with price action. So I move from higher time frames to lower time frames plus my key levels. So it's actually I actually took that trade using with the help of my key levels, right? I actually took that trade with the help of my key levels. So I think I rode this candle right here. See this candle right here? That was the candle I actually traded. So I rode that candle all the way up and to profit. It was actually my profit was about 230 pips, but the movement was not complete. So we actually retested and the market was about to close. So it was best for me to close that position with partial profit. Little profit is better than big loss. So I actually closed position with partial profits, waiting for the market to reopen. And today is Sunday. The day I make this video is a Sunday, so the market is still closed right now till 11 o'clock this night. Then we'll see what happens next. So I'm going to make this horizontal, so that I can actually explain everything better. So price action, I said price break of structure, right? Let me use it for our time frame so that we can actually see the trends clearly. So right here we can see the market is moving in. Okay, right here we can see the market is moving in a uptrend. We can see our higher highs. Sorry, I'll just use the H. Our higher highs, our higher lows. Then you can see our higher highs, higher low, higher high. And yes, that's possibly a higher low, but we can also use this as our previous higher low. And you can see that market actually broke structure right here. Okay, and we can see that the market actually broke structure right here. So you can see that the market did what? It broke structure right here. So when the market broke that structure, what were we supposed to expect? We're supposed to expect what? It moved to the downside. It moved to the what? To the downside. So we are no longer in a uptrend because of market broke this structure. Because of market broke this structure. I think okay, this is our most recent lows. So the market broke structure right there. And what do you see after the break of structure? This was where the break of structure happened. And what do you see after the break of structure? What? A massive move down. A massive move down. So the markets has actually ended the uptrend right there and started moving in a downtrend. But like I said, after every breakout, there always a retest. So this was a retest right here. This was a retest, but very small. This was the major retest, and like I said, with my years of with my little experience in the market tends to retest back to test the previous level where the break of structure had occurred. So you can see this is the level where the break of structure had occurred, and this thing actually moved from what the level actually moved from our support to our resistance level. I see the market almost tested that level right here. The market almost tested the level, and once that had happened, then I had my confirmation candles on lower time frame, then probably the H1 time frame. Though I do what? I place my sell order, and I would have done what? Trading this, I would have taken the sell all the way down to probably I get 1 to 3% reward ratio, because I don't, only if I'm swinging, but I don't like get greedy. I try my best not to green in market, because of I noticed that okay, there'll be a massive move down, I have to ride all the way. No, if I get to 50 to 70% of my target price, I'm just going to take profit. So I don't have to greedy in the market, because the market is the market is not your fire's land. So so you can see the market broke structure and started forming lower lows. Then how do you know the market is actually going to continue how do you know the market is actually going to continue the downtrend? How do you know the market is actually going to continue that trend, that the uptrend has not ended? Well, I did explain the part of break of structure, but to actually know if the market is going to continue the downtrend, you can keep plotting trend lines on your most recent lows. For instance, this is our most recent low, and we can see market did not break that. It ended up forming a lower high right here, then a lower low. Then this is our most recent low. The market broke it, right? It's broke it, so it's broke it, and then it'll form another lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, until the market broke structure right here. You can see it right here, until the market broke structure right here. And when the market broke structure right here, it did what? It ended the downtrend. If you were riding this downtrend before and you notice this break of structure right here, and notice break of structure, you have to what? Close your trade, because the market is actually going to move from downtrend to uptrend. So you can notice the break of structure right here. The market has stopped forming. This is our most recent lower high, lower low. Our most recent lower high is right here, and our most recent low is right here. Our most recent low is right here, and our most recent high is right here. And market broke our most recent high, and once it did that, it started forming higher highs. Like I explained, because it broke the recent lower low. It can't form a lower low again. It's going to form more highs. So we call this higher highs. So after the listing, what do you notice again? After the break of structure, you notice the break of structure, then a retest right here, and you can see again the retest was what? It touched our the price level where the market has actually broke the previous structure. So you can see this works about 60 to 70% of all time. After a breakout, the market tends to come back to retest and touch the previous level, then starts making its move. So after the breakout and the retest, you can see the market starts forming highs and lows, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, right? Until the market actually broke structure right here, because this was our most recent low. There you can see the market broke. Okay, Sorry, my recording stopped to be. Okay, so as I was explaining, the market actually did what? Broke our most recent higher low, right? And it formed a new low, which was here. It formed a new low. Then after that, what we were supposed to expect right here was this retest, right? Then we place our sell order, then the market start moving from there. But that didn't happen. Like I explained before, using when I was scribbling, right? I said as long as the market doesn't break the most recent high, as long as it doesn't break that, as long as it doesn't break that, but it has broken our most recent low, we are still good for our downtrend. We are still good for our sell. So the retest did not stop here. The retest went up ahead to touch our previous high, now forming what? A double top pattern. So with that double top is actually another confirmation. Like I think I used this as an example when I was scribbling. It signifies, it gives us another confirmation of the sell, because when the market stays this level, it did not break it, right? It did not go beyond that level. It did not break, so we are still good for our sell. So after that happened, you can now see the market starts forming lower high, lower lows, lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high. You can see the market starts forming lower lows, lower high. Then you can be plotting your this thing on every recent high, so you know when the market actually break it. These are our most recent high here. These are our most recent high. The market didn't break that all the way to this place. Our most recent high, the market actually broke this, but it was, like I also explained, it was what? Possibly a liquidity grab. If you had taken this trade and said that, okay, because of that break of structure and retest, you'll be stopped out. But with proper risk management, it shouldn't really affect your account. You should be losing just about 2% of your account with proper risk management. But if you had not used proper risk management, you would have lost a lot. But then that was a fake out, that was a liquidity grab or whatever. You can see market starts forming lower lows, lower high, and then this right here is our most recent low. This right here, that's our most recent high. Our most recent high. So you can see, if we plot our trend line right there, you can see after that what happened. There was a retest to that level again, although the retest went beyond the level. Then after that, the market started creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and the likes. Oh no, sorry, the market actually broke. The trend was broken. Yeah, the trend was broken here. As you can see, the market moved from uptrend to downtrend. Once this was also broken again, then the market started moving from uptrend. Then it actually choppy, and on the larger time frame, you notice that right here it was just a bit of consolidation, but of the overall trend was still a uptrend. After the market had broken this, the overall trend was still a uptrend. As you can see, the overall trend was still uptrend. Highs, you can see our highs low, our higher low. This was not really a higher high, but it created a higher low because of the low. The low is higher than our previous low, so if we have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and you can see the trend keeps going and going. The uptrend keeps going and going till date. Then we did what here? We broke structure right here. Started after the retail started creating lower lows, lower highs. Then still we did what again? We broke structure and started creating higher highs and higher lows. So what should we be expecting in the market right now? So next week, you see, we have created our most recent higher low right here. That is our most recent higher low. Our market has come to touch this, to test that level second time. It didn't really test the level. So what we should be expecting is possibly what? The uptrend to keep going. It should keep going. But if the market did break this and the market comes below, we should be expecting what? A downtrend. So that's actually how you use break of structure to play straight. And when we talk about key levels, you understand better, because I'm actually expecting the market to actually keep buying. Apart from the overall trend, you can see even on our daily time frame, you can see we're having our high up to this level. The market broke this year, so what was supposed to get here was a retesting. Market moves downwards, but that didn't happen. Instead, we went back up, we retested a little bit. Now we're testing this level. See, the market has tested that level twice. So this is a double top pattern. So what is meant to happen here next is what? A move downwards to complete the end pattern, the double top. But with everything here, the market is still most likely to keep buying. I actually from my analysis, I think the market is going to keep buying. But if that doesn't happen, we ride the sell as well. So just wait for the market to open and decide. So don't ever jump in on trades. Wait for the market to tell you what it wants to do. Yeah, we have a possible in this chart right now. We have a possible buy, right? We have a possible buy signal as well as a potential sell signal. So let's just wait for the market to actually show us what is going to happen right here. We even have a chart pattern right here. We have a head and shoulder pattern right here. This is our shoulder, our head, our shoulder. So you see, that's another buy confirmation. So let's just wait for the market. I'm just going to wait for the market to show me what it wants to do next. So that's basically for break of structure. The break of structure, you should be able to understand what the market is going to do next and how to trade the next move. I hope this video was able to help you, and if it was, kindly leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't. Also, if you have any question, ask in the comment section. I'm going to be replying everybody's question. I'm going to be answering everybody's question, and that brings us to the end of today's video on break of structure. So next we are going to be talking more about price action trading. And yes, thank you, and see you in the next video.